Meghan Markle's big comeback project was supposed to be a hit, a glossy, carefully packaged show that promised to change the game in streaming entertainment, but instead, it's already collapsing under the weight of brutal reviews. Fans are trashing it online, critics are giving it no mercy, and the ratings? Well, we're talking 1 star. Yes, 1 star. Today, we're going to break down exactly why Meghan's latest venture is facing disaster, what went wrong behind the scenes, and why this might be her biggest career setback yet. Buckle up, because this story is messy. Ever since Meghan Markle and Prince Harry stepped away from royal duties in 2020, their lives have been a roller coaster. From multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify to tell-all interviews with Oprah and beyond, Meghan and Harry have been at the center of global attention. Some saw them as trailblazers carving their own path. Others saw them as opportunists cashing in on royal connections. But no matter where you stand, one thing was clear. Meghan wanted Hollywood back. Remember, before she was Duchess of Sussex, Meghan was a working actress best known for her role in the legal drama Suits. Walking away from royal life seemed to be her chance to step back into the entertainment spotlight. Not as an actress, but as a power player, a producer, a creative, someone who could shape big cultural conversations. And now, after months of hype, Meghan finally launched her newest show. This was supposed to be her next big career-defining moment. The press releases were dramatic. The marketing was polished. Streaming platforms hyped it up as must-see content. And fans? They were curious. Could Meghan really pull this off? Could she create something fresh, meaningful, and worth watching? Apparently not, because the response so far has been nothing short of brutal. When the first episodes dropped, fans rushed to check it out, but instead of the glowing feedback Meghan's team probably hoped for, the backlash started immediately. On audience rating platforms, whether it's Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, or even fan forums, the scores started tanking. 1-star reviews rolled in, comments like, "This is boring, it feels fake, unwatchable, and why does everything Meghan touches feel like PR?" It wasn't just one or two angry haters either, it was a wave of disappointed viewers. And here's the thing, this wasn't coming out of nowhere. Meghan has struggled with public perception for years. Every project she's launched since leaving the royal family has been met with a mix of hype and criticism. But this is different. This feels like a total rejection. So, why are fans tearing this show apart? There are 3 big reasons that keep coming up. Reason number 1, it feels inauthentic. Meghan marketed this show as deeply personal, meaningful, and groundbreaking. But viewers say it feels scripted, shallow, and more like an extended PR exercise than real storytelling. People wanted honesty. They wanted something fresh. Instead, they feel like they got a lecture wrapped in Hollywood gloss. Reason number 2, poor execution. Let's be real, entertainment is brutal. If a show doesn't hook you in the first 10 minutes, most people turn it off. And from what viewers are saying, Meghan's show just isn't engaging. The pacing is slow, the themes are vague. The production looks expensive, but there's no heart. It's like the worst possible mix. Overproduced, but underwhelming. And reason number 3, the Meghan fatigue factor. Whether it's fair or not, Meghan and Harry have been everywhere the last few years. Documentaries, interviews, podcasts, constant headlines. Some people are just burned out. They feel like every project is Meghan retelling the same story, repackaged a different way, and that's driving people to roll their eyes before they even click play. And here's the kicker. This failure doesn't just hurt Meghan's reputation, it could hurt her entire career strategy. Remember, she and Harry signed multi-million-dollar contracts with major platforms. They were supposed to deliver blockbuster content that justified those deals. But if Meghan can't produce a successful show, even with all the hype, money, and media attention in the world, what does that say about her future in Hollywood? Media experts are already weighing in. Some say this flop could scare away investors. Others argue Meghan might pivot, focusing on smaller, safer projects. But either way, the narrative has shifted. Instead of being seen as a fresh, powerful voice, Meghan risks being labeled as, well, a one-hit wonder whose projects collapse under scrutiny. So that's where things stand right now. Meghan Markle's new show launched with massive hype, only to be dragged down by brutal 1-star ratings and waves of backlash. But trust me, this is just the beginning of the story. In part 2, we'll dive deeper into what critics are saying, how the media is covering this disaster, and whether Meghan can actually bounce back. Stay tuned, because it's about to get even more dramatic. When a new show comes out, critics are usually the first wave of reaction. They set the tone. If critics love it, audiences often give it a chance. If critics hate it, the project is in big trouble. So, what did critics say about Meghan's show? Well, words like flat, preachy, uninspired, and style over substance keep popping up. Some reviews say it feels more like a staged TED Talk than a real TV series. Others claim the storytelling is so sanitized it's hard to care about anything being said. One critic even compared it to watching an overlong commercial. Expensive visuals, polished production, but no soul. Ouch. And the harshest reviews argue something bigger, that Meghan isn't trying to make art, she's trying to manage her image. The show feels less like entertainment and more like damage control, another attempt to reshape public opinion after years of negative headlines. And honestly, audiences can smell that a mile away. Now here's where things get even messier. Because once critics tore into the show, mainstream media outlets jumped on the story. Headlines from tabloids and even respected publications are using words like disaster, train wreck, and career-ending flop. Some outlets are treating this as a sign that Meghan and Harry's Hollywood dream is collapsing. Remember, the Sussexes signed that giant Netflix deal back in 2020, reportedly worth around $100 million. That contract was supposed to produce hit after hit. But so far, the track record has been shaky. Yes, the Harry and Meghan docuseries pulled big numbers when it first launched, but even that had a polarized response. Some loved it, others dismissed it as self-indulgent. Their Spotify deal ended in flames, with execs allegedly calling them grifters. And now, Meghan's solo project is being shredded. You see the pattern? What's maybe even more damaging than the press is how Hollywood insiders are talking. In this industry, reputation is everything. Producers, investors, networks, they don't just care about your star power, they care about whether you can deliver. And right now, Meghan is giving the impression that she can't. Insiders are whispering that she's too controlling, too focused on image, and not focused enough on actual content. Some are even saying that working with her is more trouble than it's worth. Think about it, Hollywood is filled with talented creators competing for funding and attention. If Meghan's brand starts to look like a guaranteed flop, why would anyone bet millions on her next project? Of course, not everyone is against Meghan. She still has loyal supporters who argue the backlash is unfair. They say critics are biased, fans are harsher on her because of her royal past, and that some people just want to see her fail. And to be fair, there's truth in that. Meghan has been a lightning rod for controversy since joining the royal family. She's faced intense media scrutiny, accusations of being a diva, and even outright hate campaigns. So yes, some of this backlash is fueled by existing negativity. But here's the problem, even her supporters admit the show isn't her strongest work. They may defend her against unfair attacks, but they can't deny that the content itself feels underwhelming. That's the real issue here. It's not just haters piling on, it's neutral viewers walking away unimpressed. So what does all this add up to? Well, let's zoom out. Meghan Markle's reputation has always walked a fine line, admired by some, despised by others. But in Hollywood, the rules are different. This industry doesn't care about royal drama or tabloid gossip. It cares about results. If Meghan's projects flop, the big studios won't keep investing. Period. That's why this one-star disaster matters. It's not just another round of bad headlines. It's a signal to the industry that Meghan's name doesn't guarantee success. And once that perception sets in, it's really hard to shake. So yes, the backlash is painful right now, but the real damage might come later when Meghan struggles to get her next project off the ground. And that brings us to the big question. Can Meghan bounce back? In part 3, we're going to dive into Meghan's history with the media, her pattern of failed projects, and whether she has a strategy that could save her career, or if this really is the beginning of the end. Don't go anywhere, this story is only heating up. Let's rewind for a minute. Before Meghan was a duchess, she was an actress grinding away in Hollywood. Her biggest role, of course, was Rachel Zane on Suits. And to be fair, Meghan was good in that part. She wasn't a breakout superstar, but she was solid, she had charisma, she looked great on camera, and she became a fan favorite. But beyond Suits, Meghan's career never fully took off. She had small roles in movies, guest spots on TV, but nothing that screamed A-list. In fact, when she started dating Prince Harry, many entertainment insiders described her as a mid-level actress whose career was fine, but far from spectacular. That context matters, because once she married into the royal family, her platform exploded overnight. Suddenly, she wasn't just an actress, she was a global figure. And when she and Harry stepped back from royal life, that global spotlight gave her the chance to relaunch herself as a Hollywood power player. But here's the question, did she really have the talent or the experience to pull it off? Fast forward to 2021. Meghan and Harry sit down with Oprah Winfrey for one of the most talked about interviews of the decade. It was shocking, dramatic, and instantly viral. They accused the royal family of racism, detailed their struggles with mental health, and painted themselves as victims of a brutal institution. That interview was a massive ratings hit. People couldn't stop talking about it. But here's the key point. The success came from the subject matter, not Meghan's creative talent. Oprah is a master interviewer. The royal family is one of the most famous institutions in the world. The drama was baked in. And while the interview gave Meghan and Harry global attention, it also created a new problem. Every project that followed was judged through that same lens. Are they telling us something new, or are they just recycling the same grievances? Spoiler alert, most people think it's the latter. Next came the Harry and Meghan Netflix docuseries. At first, it looked like a massive success. Millions tuned in, and the show dominated headlines. But once again, the content was polarizing. Supporters praised it as an inside look at the couple's struggles. Critics slammed it as repetitive and self-indulgent. And just like the Oprah interview, the success wasn't really about Meghan's creative genius, it was about the subject. People were curious about royal gossip. That's the recurring theme here. When Meghan ties her projects to her royal past, she gets attention, but she also gets backlash. And when she tries to create something outside of the royal narrative, like this new show, she struggles to capture interest. It's a lose-lose situation. Then there was Spotify. Meghan's podcast Archetypes was marketed as a bold new series tackling stereotypes women face. Big-name guests like Serena Williams and Mariah Carey showed up. The production value was slick. But once again, it didn't land the way Meghan hoped. Critics called it shallow, saying it didn't dig deep enough. The interviews felt safe, the questions predictable. And that pretty much sums it up. Meghan Markle's projects keep getting the same criticism. Surface level, predictable, and missing the depth audiences expect. Whether it's her Spotify podcast or this brand new show, the pattern is becoming hard to ignore. So, what do you think? Is Meghan being unfairly judged, or is the backlash deserved? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you in the next video.